Following the death of Emperor Ling of Han in May 189, He Jin ordered the Regional Warlords to help him against the Eunuch Faction. He Jin is killed. Yuan Shao and Yuan Shu storm the palace. The eunuchs flee but are intercepted by Dong Zhuo, who eliminates them. Their presence in the central government was significantly diminished, but not entirely eliminated. When Dong Zhuo brings the emperor back to the palace, Ding Yuan and many other regional warlords arrive at Luoyang. One night, on patrol with Ding Yuan's scouts, Lu Bu witnesses Dong Zhuo's troops exiting Luoyang's gates and re-entering the next morning. Some of the simple soldiers still wore the same clothes as they did the night before, while Lu Bu also recognised enough faces to raise his suspicions. Lu Bu strides into a command tent outside Luoyang, clad in his battle-worn armour. "My lord, I bring news that Dong Zhuo's troops exited the city last night under the cover of dusk, only to return this morning, pretending to be new recruits. I saw their banners myself, and now these very same soldiers boldly march back through the eastern gate." Zhang Liao stood nearby, delivering the scouts' reports to Ding Yuan as he considers Lu Bu's claim. 3,000 only, you say? Then why the ruse? Does Dong Zhuo look to trick us and claim the emperor for himself? This is treachery of the highest order. If Dong Zhuo looks to steal the throne, then he'll find Feng Xian in his way. He held Lu Bu by his hand as he told him, "Your loyalty is worth more than 10,000 men. Go now and prepare the soldiers for battle." In this alternate scenario, Ding Yuan warns Yuan Shao and Wang Kuang about Dong Zhuo's ambitions, which isolates him early, preventing his power grab in Luoyang. When Dong Zhuo's emissary arrives to meet with Lu Bu, he refuses to even speak with him. Unable to take control over the Han dynasty, Dong Zhuo is forced to regroup back in Liang province. He meets with Martang and Hansui, who agree to allow him into their partnership. While Dong Zhuo focuses on recruiting, Martang can negotiate favourable terms with him, gaining his military support while also maintaining his independence. Martang's rivalry with Hansui could flare up if Dong Zhuo favours one over the other, but Hansui curtails this by demanding resources from Dong Zhuo. With far less political leverage, Dong Zhuo needs the local elite's support, so he agrees to their offers of exchange. He must balance growing his army, managing his volatile allies, and countering the Yuan's pursuit. As a cunning and brutal warlord with many personal warrior loyalists, he manages to fortify his position by focusing his forces around Hangu Pass in anticipation of a Yuan pursuit. Meanwhile, within the Imperial Court, Yuan Shao and Yuan Shu continue to consider Emperor Shao as the rightful emperor and give him their support. They ultimately rise as the top powers in Luoyang, each backed by their growing factions. Their rivalry grows over time. Emperor Shao is not deposed in this timeline, so his mother, Empress Dowager Gehe, also lives on, supporting him as a regent. Many in the court suspect her involvement in He Jin's assassination, citing her earlier collusion with Zhang Rang. She petitions for the eunuchs to be marginalized, but still keeps connections with a small group within the emperor's chambers. By controlling Emperor Shao, the eunuch's assistance, her elevated status, and a strong military alliance with Yuan Shao, she continues to navigate court life to uphold her regency position. Short-term stability is achieved under the Yuan's governance. They promote people of talent to appropriate positions, and strip titles from those who had previously paid for them. Cao Song reportedly bought his title of Grand Commandant, but the Yuan's investigations into this comes back inconclusive, a sign to many that corruption still lingers. As such, Cao Cao's career remains intact, and he quickly rises through the ranks. Ding Yuan is appointed governor of Bing province, and as Excellency of the Works, which grants him a prestigious but less militarized role, keeping him under the Yuan's control. Lu Bu is sent away from the political centers after Yuan Shu recommends him as general who pacifies the west. This gives him command over the elite cavalry including Zhang Liao and Gao Shun's units, to do battle on the Liang province frontier. By the Yuans working together to control Ding Yuan, Cao Cao and Lu Bu, internal fighting is prevented, but corruption begins to flourish as their own race for power continues. In enough time, history repeats itself under Emperor Shao, as it did his father. The people continue to suffer, which leads to many rebels and braves rising up. Meanwhile, the political rivalry between Yuan Shao and Yuan Shu grows, to the point that Yuan Shu backs Liu Shi as a legitimate emperor, perceiving Emperor Shao, Empress He, and the remaining eunuchs as being in league with one another. Their rivalry escalates into open hostility when Yuan Shu takes Liu Shi to his camp outside Luoyang and declares him the true son of heaven. Yuan Shao pitches his army outside the city gates in preparation for a decisive battle, leading to massive widespread public unrest. Eventually, enough court officials neglect their duties that a central government becomes fractured. Chaos erupts at the capital. Cao Cao has been secretly recruiting talent and building up a private army in Chenliu. He then leaks intelligence to Hansui in hopes of destabilizing the Yuans even further and to position himself as a savior. His actions further cripple Luoyang, creating an opening for the rebels. On the frontier, Lu Bu leads forces from Xuanyang Gate on dangerous excursions against the Liang province rebels. Seemingly out of nowhere, they launch a lightning-fast campaign towards Luoyang. With support from the alienated tribes, they avoid Lu Bu altogether and quickly capture key locations like Tong Pass. Zhang Liao tries to cut around and destroy their supplies, but is pushed back by Yan Xing, Ma Chao, and Hua Xiong's cavalry forces. At Bing province, Ding Yuan turns frustrated at the Yuan's inability to work together, so sends an envoy to keep his adoptive son close, summoning Lu Bu back to his side. Zhang Ji, Fan Chao, and Hua Xiong give chase, but Dong Zhuo still feels the need to conserve his forces and warns the trio of Lu Bu's unparalleled strength. Do not pursue Lu Bu. Lu Bu rides into Bing province to meet Ding Yuan, who's pacing back and forth, furious at the chaos engulfing the Han. Luoyang teeters on the brink as Dong Zhuo, Martang, and Hansui strike at the capital's weakened defences. Yuan Shao champions Emperor Shao, while Yuan Shu proclaims Xi'an as his puppet, both dreaming of a throne draped in the Yuan family's glory. In Shu province, Cao Cao schemes with his father and his sharpest minds, Xi Shitai, Shun Ye, and Guo Xia. They raise a secret army with Zhang Miao, with Cao ready to march on the capital and transform the chaos to serve his own ends. As the Liang warlords close in, the Yuan brothers draw their swords, and Cao Cao's shadow looms ever larger. The fate of the empire hangs in a clash of steel and ambition. Lu Bu stands steadfast to Ding Yuan, and remains at his side until he inherits Bing's governorship after his death. His experienced soldiers fortify Bing as an independent warlord state, then Lu Bu forges alliances with Zhang Yang and Zhang Miao. He bolsters his ranks with recruits from the Heishan bandits, then sorties out as the empire frays. His thoughts drift to Ding Yuan's frustration and the path he might forge alone. A warlord unbound by any master.